Hello, hello, hello. Assalamu alaikum. Ji ayanu, pakhair ragale, ni hao, chune shumme, washmale, oh hi, Gonzaimas, guten Morgen. Hi, hugs and hellos, and a very amazing Khush Ahmadi to everybody who's tuned into PTV World and are watching World this morning. Alongside the one and the only Shahzad Hasan Khan. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. It's always a pleasure when you see that you have got people who actually follow you, who look forward to, seeing your show or tuning into it. We keep on checking the feedback which you guys give too as well, and that's superb. Ladies and gentlemen, today the topic we have picked up on, I think, is one of those issues in Pakistan in which we have seen tremendous change, we have seen tremendous improvement, but there's more which we need to do as well. But before we move on towards what we are discussing today, I think we need to take a look at what's going on in the country and in the world. Top stories coming up. Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif attends 52nd Independence Day celebrations of Maldives as a chief guest. Pakistan and Maldives agreed to make South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation a vibrant regional organization. Prime Minister Sharif and Maldivian President Gayoom hold delegation-level talks. Pakistan secures third position in the paragliding event in Indonesia. And Pakistan tennis star Asamullah and Sanchat Ratiwatana of Thailand qualify for the doubles quarterfinal of Atlanta Open Tennis Tournament. Congratulations. Well, this is it for the top stories, ladies and gentlemen. Time now for the public service message, which is going to be in line with what we are discussing today. Okay, so today's public service message is basically for all those mothers out there and then for all those fathers. So, for example, it's going to be a generic public service message for all those parents who are out there. And that is that, okay, we have seen in Pakistan that, if, your other half gives birth to a son, it's highly appreciated. But I think the times are changing. I just want, in fact, I'm going to request all the parents, please make sure that you're inclusive about all your children. May them be girls, may them be boys. Make sure that while you're nurturing them, while you're rearing them, while you're grooming them, please tell them that there's no difference in between a man or a woman, because eventually what happens in the world is that when they grow up, eventually they start to think that probably, my mother prioritizes my brother more, and then, for example, whenever we serve food, the best was given to the men or the boys. Please don't do that. Please make sure that you're inclusive of it. Please make sure that you ensure the education for all your kids, not for just one kid. Because I've even seen such households in the rural areas, in Punjab too as well, where I've seen that, for example, if they can afford one child to go to school, what they do is that they send the boy to the school. Please stop doing that. This is actually a crime, and education, I think, is one of those fundamental rights which we need to fight for too. So for all those kids who are actually suffering through these kind of situations, what you can do is, if you can hear us, or if probably somebody tells you, please write to us. We do have people over here who can actually sort it out for you. And this is what we are doing today, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are talking about women empowerment and role of women in the country's development as well. Because quite a lot of times we really do not know where do we stand right now, because the last research paper I could get my hands on was from 2007, and it said that 70% of women are working in the fields where they have to cut sugar canes or probably collect them and whatnot. And then half of the income which they basically generate is not even accumulated within the economy. So, I mean, question marks. So let me introduce to you, on my right hand side, we have got very amazing guests. We keep on bugging them again and again, because we think that they can share their pieces of advice or recommend a few suggestions as well. So on my right-hand side, ladies and gentlemen, we have got Kawal Shozeb, who is a social scientist herself. Hello, ma'am. Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
I'm good.
You're wearing a very nice color. Thank you very much for joining us. Alongside Ms. Kawal Shozeb, we've got somebody. I went to one of the schools where we actually had to judge something. It was a drama festival, so I saw her there too. I was very happy that, okay, people finally want me to be judging something. She was there. She's an activist too. She's a very famous lady all across the globe. Her name is Maliha Hussain, and she's the executive director of Mehergar, and she's a social activist. Hello, ma'am. How are you? Assalamu alaikum.
I'm good. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you very much for coming over. Last but not the least, a lady. Let me think of the exact words which I want to share about this lady, because she's a philanthropist. She looks after the kids of the entire world or the entire Pakistan like they're I actually do not have words to explain, because what happens is that, whenever you're going to see her, she's got her own orphanage where she's actually protecting, looking after all those kids, making sure that they are a part of the society and a pivotal part of the society. And then she's doing so much for all those poor people who are out there that you have no idea. And she's none other than Miss Ira Mumtaz, who's a social activist and an educationist too. Hello, ma'am. How are you? Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. And jazakallah khair for your kind words.
Thank you very much.
I'm truly humbled.
Thank you very much for coming over once again. So let me start my conversation. You're a social scientist yourself. So first of all, in terms of women empowerment, where do we stand and what do we actually mean by women empowerment? Because, okay, so since 1947, let's talk about Fatma Jinnah Sahiba, who was a doctor herself, was standing right next to Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah in all of that fight to self-determination as well, right? And then moving on, Pakistan was the first ever Muslim country to appoint the first ever prime minister, which was Benazir Bhutto as well. Other than that, we've got an entire list, so we'll be sharing that. So this is what our women are capable of as well. How do you think we have progressed in terms of women empowerment?
Okay, first of all, you use some phrases like in your introduction that where do women stand in the development of Pakistan? I would like to give examples. Sure. Just take your household as an example, a unit.
Yeah.
What is the role of a mother in a household?
Yeah.
Just to keep it
most
intact.
of the time she's just yelling on me. Oh, what are you doing? Don't throw your pants over there. I have to pick it up.
You see, she is always taking care of you. And to keep the household in order, the main, if the mother is not around, you don't find your house as a house. It's home when your mother is there.
Exactly.
So I would say it's like same. Role of women in the development of any country is equally important as the role of men, because if she is around to support, if you just understand the capacity she is holding to get all the units together, then you can imagine what is her role in development. And unfortunately, we are actually undermining her role. We are underestimating her capacity, the capacity of Pakistani women. Because wherever you give them chance, they prove and they bring wonders.
Exactly.
We have many other women who have worked in IT. They have miracles.
Yeah, we've got an entire list. We'll do that. That's a surprise for all those people out there. But I don't want you to jump onto role of women in the development of the country right now. I just wanted to ask about where are we in terms of women empowerment?
Well, it's a split answer, I must say.
Okay.
If we just follow the demographic of Pakistan and the rural and urban divide, you'll find different roles given to women. If we jump from urban, just keep the urban aside, because we find modern women, we find women working. If we talk about the rural areas, you will still find women cheaper than a cattle.
Okay.
It is really unfortunate, because I belong to South Punjab, and during these flood days, men try to protect their cattle more than their women, because they think that cattle are more expensive, they have to pay for them, and women they will get cheaply. They don't have to pay for them. And this is one of the bitterest reality in Pakistan right now. Nobody's taking care of it. And I must say, this is not the responsibility of non-governmental organization. It is the state responsibility.
State is fulfilling the responsibility. Why do we keep on saying we have got reserved seats in the assembly?
No, we make laws, but we don't implement them. Because if we enforce law in terms of women empowerment, not empowerment, just recognizing women as a human in different areas of Pakistan.
Only that's enough.
Just start giving her her basic human right. Just recognize her as a human, not as a commodity. There's a difference calling women a commodity.
I got
and we have to give this sense to our rural areas and to those areas who keep women as their commodities. First, just think that she's a human being. She's an equal human being. You said, don't undermine the role of your daughters. Give them equal importance. How come if they think a woman is a commodity,
but you just said
inferior?
that, let aside be urban areas, So we were talking about rural areas.
Actually,
but we'll come back to this.
More focuses on urban area. They are actually highlighted properly.
Because
Maybe.
when people want to develop their own selves or groom themselves, what happens is that they move to urban areas. See, that's the point too. But let's see what Ma'am Malia has
But
to say
most of
about
our
women empowerment.
MNAs are from rural areas
Yeah, obviously that's
who are
why they are
sitting in the
MNAs.
parliament.
Yeah. They get elected from those areas.
They have been able to get a good education
Yeah.
and come all the way, represent their people in the parliament,
Exactly.
which is very positive. I look at things, or I like to look at things in a more positive way. We are moving ahead. Our women are getting more and more empowered. Yes, there are a lot of issues. We should not gloss over them or ignore them. We need to work towards improving the situation.
Yeah.
It is already improving. There are laws in place, and a lot of those laws are being implemented as well.
Yeah.
For example, our girls don't get permission to go to school or to get a
Not to
good
even
education,
their friend's house.
or even to their friend's house, because their parents are afraid they'll get sexually harassed.
Yeah.
I think that is one of the biggest issues that stands in the way of our women's progress or girls' progress. There are laws. The government of Pakistan passed 2 laws in 2010 to curb sexual harassment, so that women get out of their homes. If they are harassed, they can report it and get their issues resolved. There's a specific law for workplaces. If a woman is harassed, or even a man, any employee is harassed in a workplace, they don't even have to go to the police or to a court of law. They can report the case internally to a standing inquiry committee, and their issue gets resolved within 30 days.
By the police?
No, they don't have to go to the police.
Then who resolves it?
The standing inquiry committee members who are supposed to be appointed as a part of implementing this law or complying with this law.
But do we see people getting hired for this particular
I was
reason?
just telling her as we
Ombudsman.
were waiting that I had brought together some organizations that are complying with this law just 2 days ago. We had 13 organizations, about 20 members from them, and I still have that high of how well these organizations are doing.
Very nice.
You know, one of the government organizations, autonomous government bodies, we had a representative from there, by the way, a IT specialist who is at a director general level in that government body or organization. They've handled more than 50 cases so far.
Wow.
Their people know that if we are harassed, we can report it. Who do we go to? So work is being done. Just because it doesn't, like these cases are not reported in media or they don't go to the police, a lot of people don't know about them.
So see,
But
this is
a
what
lot
our
of
job.
work is being done.
This is what our job is, and I think people need to take initiative too. Now, for example, if the laws are there, how many times we have seen people reporting such issues?
You're right.
I mean, I'm very sorry, but I'm going to share this story as well, that one of these times when we were doing these shows and we were talking about women empowerment, so one of the lady was here. I obviously won't take the name. And then she said that, you know, my boss has been harassing me for a year now and I want to lodge a complaint and whatnot. And I was like, why don't you do it then? Why are you still holding it back? Oh, yaar, wo log keh rahe hain ki, you know, what will happen and, you know, your repute's going to go down the drain. And I was like, why are you even worried about it? Don't you think that it's about time that women set examples too?
You're right.
So go ahead, share.
I would like to second her opinion. You know, I would like to start on a positive note.
Sure.
And since the formation of Pakistan, we have come a long way. If we could keep looking back at all the negative things, we have to highlight the positive things
Very
that
nice.
happened in this area. And let me tell you, in South Asia, 21% of female parliamentarians are Pakistani.
Yeah.
That's the highest number as compared to India, where it's 11%. So that is a huge achievement for females of Pakistan. And if you look at all the, like, you've already got the list of 10 most important and influential females of Pakistan. So we have come a long way. And then I would say that instead of looking at all the negative things, we as women who are empowered, it's our job to, you know, make a difference in everybody's
Exactly.
life. That is what I believe in. I strongly don't believe in drawing room discussions and these PTV, you know, TV shows, which all these shows which seriously,
It's all right.
I've stopped watching these shows. That okay, fine, every day the rhetoric is the same, highlighting all the evils. But the ground reality, how much are all of us are involved into making a difference in our lives?
Exactly.
I'm answerable for my actions. It's very easy to, put a finger, raise a finger on others.
Yeah.
How much are we doing ourselves to bring a change? We are
Very nice.
empowered, we are blessed, we are the privileged lot. So if we keep blaming the government, it's not the government job only. It's everybody, each and every citizen
They've
of
done it,
Pakistan.
it's 21% you just said, right?
Yeah,
right?
yeah, mashallah, they are doing it, of course, and we are after them to make a difference as
But
well.
I've got another point over here. Obviously, we do have to go for a short break so that we can have a glass of water too. Everybody needs it right now. But there's one more thing which I think at times, and when we talk about women empowerment, why do you think we even need reserve seats for women then?
Yes, they
This
shouldn't
is a
be.
discrimination in itself.
Having reserve seats is discrimination. But initially, it might be very important to have reserve seats so that there can be space for them. But now I think
in the beginning, you need
But
that
still
to
the
encourage
political
them
parties
to
are
come
not
in.
ready to give open seats to their women.
Initially it's important to have women in the parliament so
Yes.
that they can make legislation which are favorable for females as well.
Exactly.
See, it's a male-dominated society. If you don't have any reserve seats, you won't find any female out there.
Exactly, but I think our females, I think I'm going to appreciate the role played by the information minister as well. She's an amazing lady and she's done a tremendous job. But other than that, I think I've seen so many other female politicians who are actually just worried about their branded bags or suits or whatnot. But we'll talk about it more when we come back after a short break, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. We're talking about women empowerment and role of women in developing Pakistan. Wow. Good morning. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for everybody who just got tuned into PT World. You're watching World this morning, alongside Shahzad Khan. Today we are talking about women empowerment and role of women in Pakistan's development. We have been joined by Miss Malia Hussain, Miss Iram Mumtaz, and Miss Kaba Shozeb as well. The conversation's actually picking up heat over here, ladies and gentlemen, and we do have disagreements, but all of these are opinions and recommendations or suggestions. Please don't take it in person too as well. My glass of water is here. You can definitely come. Thank you very much. I even needed it, but they thought that I'm not a part of the show, so everybody else got their glass of water. I did, but it's perfectly all right. Okay, so now, what do you think is the social, political, and family status of a woman in Pakistan?
Being optimistic is good. but ground realities tells us something different. Unless and until we highlight the core issues, the realities of the reality and the issues which are linked to us, then it's difficult for us to move forward. It's good that we are foreseeing our bright future in terms of women, but still on ground things are they are actually messed up.
Okay.
I'm not very happy with the present situation. Yes, I'm optimistic about the future.
Yeah.
So if we talk about political status of women right now, it's good. Since 2007 till now, 31% we are trying, still 17%. So it's good that they got representation, and women, though coming into parliament was not a good mean, coming through reservation through reserve seat. I have my reservations on this
Okay.
this mode of bringing women in the parliament.
हाँ ना यार भी लड़ाई करो.
But still, I think, as we talked earlier, that it's good that women are they are present in the parliament and they are playing their role, though it's not very vibrant, because if they come through some sources or through nepotism, they can't play openly. Right now, what I was expecting, since
Obviously, you have to oblige people. If somebody oblige you.
no, if you are relative to someone, some strong parliamentarian, then you have to, hame lana.
Yeah.
You have to support them by all means. You haven't seen any bill moved by all the parliamentarian, the women parliamentarian, to bring women next time on open seats and open tickets.
Because they know even they won't make it to the assembly,
Obviously,
honestly.
other than, if you ask any leader, will they be ready to give 31% of their total seats, the open tickets, to any women? No, a big no.
So we need to work on this.
Because then they will tell you that there are mobility issues, there are caste-based issues,
Okay.
because certain castes are not going to vote for the women.
Yeah.
These issues they have to face in KP, these issues they have to face in Sindh, these issues they have to face in interior.
So then it's going to come down to a point where we need to educate the masses too. Yeah, I mean we need to tell
we
people.
need to educate our top levels first, because they don't understand, and the fish rot from the top. If they start thinking positive when they are sitting in the parliament and in their decision making these things reflect, you will find the trickle down effect down to the society.
All right.
If one representative of a constituency starts working, raising voice, first of all, they have to be feminist. They have to understand it, that women is not our commodity, as I said earlier, because the ground realities are, they are different. From when we go into ground, being a researcher, I've gone to, in Islamabad, the urban center of Pakistan, my research is all based in Islamabad.
All right.
And the facts which I got, they were really shocking.
Devastating. Okay, we'll
Because I
definitely
went
touch
to
upon
some areas where I've seen women working, and when they are working, their daughters were taking care of their younger children, and they send their sons to these schools.
Yeah,
What is
this is irony. This is something which we need to agree
You
to,
won't
and
find
we need to work
girls'
together.
schools in majority. You will find boys' school. You will get more
Well,
opportunities for
I
boys.
can actually tell you so many girls' schools over here in Islam because I've been roaming around them. All right, Miss
That
Priya, what
must be
about
20
you?
years back. I'm talking about the recent thing.
All right.
Yeah.
Social, political, and family status of women, in your perspective.
Social, we see a lot of women coming out and working.
We see you.
Getting a good education and working in all sorts of professions that we didn't see 20, 30 years ago. You see women in police, you see women flying aeroplanes. So no matter what the situation, girls are coming out and they are joining all sorts of professions.
Exactly.
So that is very good. If you go to universities, you'll see a lot more young women in universities getting a very good education, and they do excel. A lot of them.
I mean, in my university, all this time, the topper was a lady. Khatija, I love you, honestly, because you've done a great deal, and she's in Switzerland now, and she's doing fabulous.
So many of them do.
Yeah.
And then even girls who don't choose to work outside the home, who believe that raising their family is important, they are also doing a wonderful job. If they realize the importance of their work by staying at home, raising their children to become good human beings and good citizens of Pakistan, they can really impact the society, and they are.
And how do you think families are changing?
We are getting more nuclear families, which has its strong and weak points.
I think it's better for women to be independent with their
It's
husbands.
better for
Joint family
men
system was a
also.
problem.
Joint family has its own plus points,
Yeah.
where mother-in-laws and sister-in-laws are very supportive. I see daughter-in-laws going out to work and the mother-in-law taking care of the children. I literally, like,
Yeah.
I'm giving you first-hand knowledge. okay?
Exactly.
It's changing. I see mother-in-laws and daughter-in-laws getting along so well, so many of them, not 100%, but a lot of them.
Amazing.
And I see girls who are educated, who choose to stay at home and raise their kids, doing an excellent job of raising their kids. So I see a lot of positives. The issues are there. It's important that we know them, but then the next important thing is, what are we going to do to change the situation? What am I going to do?
Exactly.
You
But
know,
we will
pointing-
definitely come back to that. We're not giving away
Right.
solutions right now.
Right.
But now moving on to you, Ma'am Iram, how do you think we can give them their due personal, social and family circles?
First of all, I feel that education has a pivotal role to play
Okay.
in women empowerment. If somebody doesn't know about their rights, how are they going to ask for it?
Exactly.
So, first and foremost, education, not only religious education is equally important. So, we need to revamp the education system. As an educationist, that is what I feel. The gap is there because we are only interested in the Western education, and we have really the religious education has taken a back seat. That is where the problem lies, because if we follow the teachings of Quran, if we look at the female in our Holy Prophet's age, I mean, such successful women. Look at Hazrat Khatija, look at Hazrat Aisha, 1400 years back. And Islam, if we follow it in true spirit, I don't think so we will face so many problems. When there is misinterpretation of Islam,
Yeah.
Again, male-dominated society, whatever they pick and choose, oh yes, it's allowed to get
I
four,
think women has
four
actually got
wives.
more rights than men
Oh,
in
yes,
Islam,
they
to
do.
be
Look
honest.
at it, yeah,
Absolutely,
the only
yes.
religion which gave so many rights to females.
Yes,
You
exactly.
see, but it's not applied in true spirit. You see, and the misinterpretation, whatever they like, they pick and choose and do shopping from Islam.
Exactly.
So that is what is missing in our education sector, because we are so confused that we are just running after the foreign education, getting admissions for our kids in foreign institutions and all that. Let's fix the education system of Pakistan.
Exactly.
That needs to be fixed. That is the main ground laying foundation
Exactly.
of, like, to enlighten people and enlighten females. And then males as well, they need to know that empowered, this word empowered, the word power could be really intimidating for a male. You see, the moment you come to know, I've seen that, so many cases, even educated class,
Yes.
if your wife is much more educated than you, I mean, these boys have just put their foot down and they've told their wives not to work. Even doctors, engineers, professionals. So we need to educate the masses in general. Even the male needs to know that if my wife is educated and she gets a good job, it's not necessary that a working lady, that typical stereotype thinking which is there, that all working women, oh my God, who's going to look after the house? The whole family system is going to mess up. This is the mindset which we need to.
And I think it's going to be done by all the mother-in-laws, all the dadiyan, all the naniya, all the mothers who are out there, your grandparents, who keep on telling their children or reiterating to them that son or daughter, please don't do this, please make sure that you guys work together. I think this is very important too. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, obviously the situation is getting better. We are very optimistic about it. And we are trying to empower our women. They are getting empowered too as well. They are, right besides us. And we do not feel as Pakistanis that women actually needs to stay back home. It was a mindset. It used to be prevalent within our society, but it's changing. We're going out in 46 different countries, so I'm taking advantage of the opportunity. What we're going to do is, we are going to share 10 of those Pakistan soil daughters who've actually made us proud, who've made me as a brother proud, who made the entire world proud of the fact that they exist within Pakistan. They're very patriotic and they have created a difference in everybody's life. Let's take a look. On number 1, we have Muniba Mazari. Wow, what an amazing person. Is Pakistan's only wheelchair-bound TV anchor who has been included in Forbes magazine 30 Under 30 list for 2016. She originally hails from Rahim Yar Khan. Mazari has been in a wheelchair for over the last 7 years after a car accident. She has earned a bachelor's degree in fine arts and also established a brand, Muniba's Canvas, with the slogan, "Let Your Walls Wear Colors." In December 2015, the United Nations Entity for Gender Equality and Empowerment of Women named Muniba Mazari as Pakistan's first female goodwill ambassador. Amazing. Moving on. Shazia Parveen is Pakistan's first firefighter who joined Rescue 1122 in 2010 at the age of 25. She belongs to Vihari district in Punjab. Having managed to wiggle into a world of men, Parveen thinks that the women can tackle any job and take up any profession of their choice. Wow. Sharmeen Ubaid Chinoy is Pakistan-Canadian, 2 times Oscar winner for documentaries based on real stories from Pakistan. She got education from United States, but her soul remains stuck in Pakistan crucial circumstances. Moving on. Malala Yousafzai, the globally known child rights activist, has made us proud many times, be it through winning Nobel Prize for Peace or her address to the United Nations General Assembly. Fiza Farhan is a Pakistani entrepreneur in power sector who is working for promotion of green energy in the country. She is CEO of Baksh Foundation and director of Baksh Energy. She was also part of the 30 Under 30 list by Forbes magazine for social entrepreneurs in 2015. Nargis Mawalwala is Pakistani-American astrophysicist who was part of a group of scientists which proved existence of gravitational for the first time in human history. Samina Beg is Pakistan's globally known mountaineer who hoisted Pakistani flag at Mount Everest at the young age of 21. She's also the first ever Pakistani woman and the first Muslim to climb the 7 summits. Zenith Irfan is first Pakistani woman who completed a journey through the Kashmir belt via motorcycle, showing the world that how peaceful Pakistan has been. I like the name. Twinkle Suhail is another Pakistani female to make her country proud. She's a professional powerlifter who won the gold medal in the 2015 Asian Bench Press Powerlifting Championship held in Muscat, Oman. Last but not the least, Namira Salim became the first Pakistani woman to reach North and South Poles when she achieved this distinction, in 2008. She also holds the title of being the first Asian and first Pakistani to skydive over Mount Everest during the historic first Everest Skydives project in 2008. The list goes on. We have got too many other people as well. We've got too many other daughters who are actually making us proud. And other than these ladies who are actually over here with us too, ladies and gentlemen, and what we need to realize is that these women, because I happen to know quite a lot of them in between these 10, never got the opportunity to do this. They created an opportunity for themselves. This is how you feel empowered. Empowering does not mean that the opportunity is actually going to come to your door, knock, knock, knock. Oh, I'm opportunity. Do you want to avail me? This is not how it happens. You have to create one. How do you think, ma'am, women in today's time can create opportunities for themselves and for other people too?
Yeah, first of all, like I said earlier, by educating themselves.
Yeah.
And looking within and finding out what is their aptitude, what is their interest, and it's perfectly fine to adopt any profession for that matter, and start believing in yourself. That is the most important thing. I know it's not a smooth sailing, the societal pressure, the family pressure, कि बच्ची जवान हो गई, she has to get married and all that. You can get married. I pursued my education even after getting married, and I got all the major degrees after marriage and became a remedial therapist, and since then, for the past 24 years, I've been doing my best, whatever I can. So first and foremost, believing in yourself, that is the most important thing, and then knowing what you want. I mean, these days, you can't say, I didn't know about it. The whole world is at your fingertips. You can Google, you can use computers, anything and everything, and to get information about any field of life of your choice.
Exactly.
So first and foremost, start believing in yourself. There will be hurdles, and you have to be strong enough to cross those hurdles and achieve your aim. And of course, and enlighten others as well. Do not restrict that education to yourself. That is what I've done all my life. Whatever I know, what in my humble capacity, I try to pass it on to others. So you have to become a beacon of light for others.
Yeah.
You see, I mean, I'm a doer. Basically, I'm a doer. I don't believe in, you know, criticizing the system.
NATO.
Yeah.
They say NATO,
Yeah,
no action, talk only.
Yeah. So, you know, like, that is what I believe in each one of us. Like, my slogan is each one, teach one.
Yeah, very
You know,
nice.
that's the most important thing, that no matter where you are, you know, be it floods, earthquake, wherever, even during dharna, I mean, I just need to get a child and I start teaching them.
Exactly.
So that is my giving back to the society, you know. So basically my thing about this thing is through education.
Very nice.
And of course, and practice what you preach.
And you've said it very rightly as well. Ladies and gentlemen, the other day I was reading this thing and it said, because people over here in Pakistan are very worried about dowry too. Because whenever their daughters are getting married, they have to think about, okay, what furniture to buy, what jewelry to buy. Kamal, are you listening? Yes. Okay. And what things to buy, and which is indeed, I do not want to say it, but it is burden for parents. This is the right word for it. But the statement said, and it was for all the mothers and fathers who are out there, please make sure that you teach your son or educate your son to such a level where he himself says that I can afford it myself. And you educate your daughters so much to such a level that people even want to marry them without dowry too as well. So I think this was a beautiful statement and it makes sense to me as well. But now, do you think, because when we say women empowerment, role of women in development of Pakistan, the most crucial point is being equal right in front of the law. Do you think men and women are equal in the eyes of law over here in Pakistan, or the practice is different? And share your own experiences. We do not want a generic recommendation over that, or a generic opinion, because then people can actually be held in the court of law.
There is gender discrimination. There is a lot of harassment of men and women both, but more for women. But I would again say things are changing. Okay. We've started, a lot of women leaders in Pakistan have started a campaign against rape. They've come up with a new word for rape in Urdu. We didn't have a word in Urdu for rape. It's called zabarjinsi now. Because when a woman is raped, the whole society blames them. Yeah. So things are changing. Women have realized that we need to do something to change the situation. In the courts of law, when we are able to shift the mindset of our people, of our men in the law enforcement agencies, lawyers, judges, people in the police, women will get their rights, even those who are victims of different crimes. In educational institutions and workplaces also, in certain organizations, in progressive organizations, they do get their rights, but there are others where they are discriminated. So a lot of us, more and more of us need to start working on these things, making women aware of their rights. And I think more importantly, women themselves, as you said, need to educate themselves. You can get anything and everything on Google these days.
Yeah.
Go check out the Constitution of Pakistan, see what rights does the Constitution give you, see what laws have been passed in Pakistan to protect the rights of women. It's the Parliament's job to pass these laws. It's our job to know about them and use them.
And then fight for them too.
Absolutely. And if we need more, we can work with our government, we can work with our Parliament and get more laws passed. I mean, if you look at our history, since 1961 when the family laws were passed, for the next 50 years, no major legislation was done to protect the rights of women.
Well, it actually haven't been done since 1918 when we adopted the British law.
but in the last almost 10 years, 9-10 years, since 2008, look at all the laws that have been passed to protect the rights of women, and this is because of the civil society, the people of Pakistan, the women of Pakistan working with the parliamentarians to come up with these laws, and a lot of these laws are being implemented also. More of them need to be implemented.
Now, what you're trying to say is that it's our sole responsibility to know about them and then try to educate people on that too as well, and then practice them. I think this is what is very necessary.
Right.
So now, way forward? What do you think needs to be done in a very optimistic and a positive manner? Because we're getting better day by day. And I think that, all of these rape cases issue with India, we see every day in the news as well. I think Pakistani women are so strong, they can actually resolve these issues in India too. This is one thing I'm telling you.
There's a difference between Pakistan. We are talking about the society. It's not about women. Women has the capacity, as I said earlier. Pakistani woman is striving hard to show herself that she does not lack any type of capacity. Wherever you fits her, she proves herself.
Exactly.
Even more than proving herself, she brings wonder, even for the entire world. It's the society which is not cooperating with it.
Okay.
It's not the enabling environment.
All right.
My point is, I'm not negative about Pakistani women, and I'm not negative about their capacity. I'm negative about the attitude of society as patriarchal society.
So how do we change it now?
And
Solutions.
in terms of laws, yes, there have been many laws which are made for last, in a decade or so.
Yeah.
But where is the implementation? We don't see examples. For example, what about the honor killing? Have we seen anything happening actually on ground? Have we seen any example set?
See,
If
this is
a
what ma'am
lady
was
is
saying.
killed, and last night when I was watching this news, I saw a young girl from Multan. She was complaining for the justice. She was raped. Even a Maulvi Sahab has given the fatwa that the rapist should be hanged. But I wish we could see some rapist hanging in the media, and then you see, when we set examples, you will actually give society a strong message.
Everybody's
okay,
going to be
this
fair.
is the end of it.
Exactly.
Now if you do it, this is your end.
So
this is
everybody
how
needs to
we
be
have
held
go.
accountable for their actions, but it
We
is
have
very
to
important
see
to know
law
your rights.
implemented properly through law and enforcement agencies, through state. This is my point. Actually, I'm very optimistic about Pakistani women. There's
But this needs to be
no
done.
lack of capacity in women. They have proved themselves. You have shown all the list. There is a vast list. I know
So
women
many
who are
unsung heroes
driving,
too.
who are driving buses in the rural areas
yeah,
of
yeah.
Punjab. They are actually. There's a widow who is having a rickshaw.
We've got a women's
workshop.
polo team over here in Pakistan.
Yeah, everything. Pakistani women are doing wonders.
Amazing. And they
But
will keep on doing that
the
too.
law enforcement agencies and state has to be strict about the implementation of laws which are protecting the rights of women. This is
Got
my
the point. Got the
One
point.
sentence.
Yeah, sure.
I must say that there are a lot of very good men in Pakistan who
Thank
fight
you.
for the rights of women. They actually do.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of them. So men and women working together to improve the rights of Pakistanis, especially women, because they are a little behind. So we are all working together to make things better.
We are talking about the masses. If I'm sitting here, my
We are
husband is
actually short of time. We just have to wrap up the show as well. So
I
your
would just
recommendation.
I'd like to add one point. As mothers, upbringing of our sons,
Yeah.
that is very important. We need to change that too. And this notion that because of me this world was created has to change. Equality,
Yeah.
implementation of laws, and educating the masses. That is how the change
Thank you very much for being with us. I mean, we tried doing justice with it. Your point was very valid too. Everybody said it very right. And ladies and gentlemen, before wrapping it up, the only thing which I would love to say over here is that I obviously belong to one of those families where, sons are very appreciated. And when you gradually realize, when you get the education, because after 5 sisters, if you're the only one man who was actually, or one child who was born in the family, they just keep you like this. For example, as if you're one of those characters from the Simba movie or Lion King 2. But now, with the passage of time, when I thank God that I actually got the opportunity to work with PTV World, where they were liberal, where people actually would come and share all of their insecurities, securities, what they want to do in life. And when you get that education, your subconscious is actually getting it. So when your subconscious starts to get it, your actions change. Please make sure that if you know something good, reiterate it. Woman is a symbol of peace, love, tranquility. They say if you educate a mother, you educate the entire humanity. Let's start educating our children, and I think Pakistan will be at a better place. Do not forget to write to us on our Facebook fan page, which is with the name of World This Morning. On Twitter, it's World This Morning without a G. On Dailymotion and YouTube, it's World This Morning, World This Morning. And the fabulous repeat is going to be at 11 p.m. Look after yourselves. Good morning. Women Empowerment.